Hello everyone, Ed here, author of this, Murdered by the Bottle, the extraordinary, criminally underrated crime novel available now, wherever books are sold. Now, this has been an extraordinarily difficult week for all of us, not just in Britain, but throughout the world, throughout the realms, the Commonwealth, our overseas dependencies. We've lost somebody extremely special, and I don't need to tell you who that is. Well, it's the Queen. I'm talking about the Queen. You know, the Queen died this week, didn't you? Watch the news! Anyway, Queen Elizabeth II, our beloved monarch, is gone. And there's nothing we can do about that. But, now she has gone, I am at liberty to share with you a very recent event in my life, which I hope will become a pivotal moment in yours. On Monday of this week, I know, what a week, you know, when the world was a very different place, I received a phone call from the Queen's private secretary summoning me to Balmoral. Now, initially I thought it was a prank call. I get calls like this all the time. I've been summoned to the White House, you know. I had a call from Vladimir Putin once, asking me for advice on the campaign in Ukraine. I get about 8 calls like this a week, so naturally I was sceptical. But he persisted, and in the end I was convinced that this was a genuine communication, and it turned out to be just that. Hours later, I was in a well-upholstered room with a decadent carpet and a charming fireplace at Balmoral, sitting opposite none other than Her Majesty the Queen. Now, believe me when I tell you, this was an extraordinary moment. And of course, I was humbled to be in the presence of a living icon, as she then was. Now, what did she say to me, you wonder, aloud? Well, I'll tell you if you let me. She said, Ed, thank you for coming. I've been apprised by various sources that your novel, Murder by the Bottle, available wherever books are sold, has sold reasonably well, but it isn't the smash hit, it's not the bestseller that perhaps it deserves to be. And she said, I hope you won't mind me saying so, but you're one of my favourite authors. Perhaps, she said, the finest literary talent that this country has produced in the last 30 years. And I am intent that I will not be content until more people know about your work and about the book that you have written. She said, I go to bed with a copy of this every night, and I sleep well for knowing it's there. She said, and sometimes I even read it. I said, Your Majesty, that is an extraordinary compliment. Thank you so much for that. As a humble subject, I'm naturally moved. She said, look, she said, it's nice that you're moved. She said, but I didn't ask you here to be moved. I asked you here to spread the word. It's imperative, she said, that you go out there and you tell the people, all the people, that they should have a copy of this book on their shelf or in their Kindle and in their lives as soon as humanly possible. They should buy it, their friends should buy it, and their friends should buy it. She said, this book should be known by grandparents, parents, school children, delinquents, the family pets, the whole shebang. Because its relative anonymity, she said, is a slight against literature itself. I said, Your Majesty, that is a, if I may say so, extremely compelling observation. She said, well, you know, I'm the Queen, I'm full of those. You pick some things up over a life as long as mine. Couldn't argue, wouldn't argue. Didn't feel it was my place. So, in those few minutes we spent together, she took me by the hand. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. It's so raw. It's so raw. She took me by the hand and she said, I am an old lady, she said. I don't know how long I've got left on this earth. She said, but before I go, I want people to know that every person in the land should have a copy of this book. I said, Mom, that's Natives, Race and Class and the Ruins of Empire by Akala. She said, oh, I'm sorry, I meant this book. I have the two together on my side table there. I sometimes get confused between Murder by the Bottle, Ed Whitfield. That's what she was talking about. So she said, you will do that for me, won't you, Ed? You will spread the word. You will tell them I told you. I said, of course I will. And so here I am doing just that. Now, of course, obviously I didn't take notes or record the conversation, so I've had to paraphrase what Her Majesty told me in some places. But I assure you that what I'm telling you is true to the spirit and occasionally the letter of what she said. And I would like you to consider it, to think very carefully about it. Because, you know, you don't owe me anything, but maybe you owe something to our late Queen for 70 years of diligent service and selfless duty. Murder by the Bottle is out now, wherever books are sold. And if you have even a sliver of patriotism, you will go out and buy it. The Queen is dead. God save the King.